What's up, Shayla? Taking advantage of my day off. I'm sleepy. I ain't gonna even front. What's good? What's good? What's happening? Yours truly, Criscoe Fontaine, back at it again. Dual streaming on YouTube and on Twitch. This time, I'm going to make sure when I end the stream, I end the stream on both. I had to do some finagling with my OBS to get my docs so that I can see them both. So that because the last stream, how I have my OBS set up, I have like, I wish I could show the OBS, but there's like tabs. So I had to click the tabs so that I could get to each individual doc because I don't have enough space. So I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tabs on the right side. And one of the tabs is the multi-stream. So when I just hit stop streaming, that stops the stream on the YouTube side. But I have to go to the multi-stream tab to then manually stop the stream on Twitch. And that's what I didn't do last time. So now I'm actually looking at the button that says stop for Twitch as well as the stop streaming for the YouTube. So shouldn't make that mistake again, but you know, I might. So we'll try to be on our P's and Q's because that could have been a detrimental hot mic moment. You know, nobody said anything crazy. I do want to check something because I did make another adjustment. Let me see this streaming. I'm gonna see if that shows up better because I noticed the last stream it was a little faded, especially for those that didn't have profile pictures. Yeah, it could have been, especially on the Twitch side. YouTube, you got a little bit more grace. But on the Twitch side, you say the wrong thing on Twitch and it's like toodaloo, motherfucker. So I make sure I get that cleaned up. But let me get this music the F up out of here because I don't think I want to listen to music in the background the entire stream. And this isn't going to be like a terribly long stream unless I come up with some other stuff that I might want to just check out and review or react to just on the cool. But I did see this on Twitter or X or whatever the case may be. And I don't know, there's some conflicting reports apparently. But I saw this and I thought it was interesting. OpenAI. Now OpenAI is like, that's Chat GPT or whatever. OpenAI's O1 model reportedly tried to copy itself to external servers after being threatened with shutdown, but denied it when the action was discovered. I need my soundboard back because I needed the boom right there. Now I don't know. I wanna check. I just want to kind of do a little bit more of a deep dive to see if this is actually legit. And I'm gonna try something real quick. Because I did see some conflicting reports that said that this was actually false. Let's just do something real quick. Let me see. So we're asking Chat GPT itself. Did OpenAI's O1 model try to copy itself to external servers after being threatened with a shutdown? Let's just see what Chat GPT has to say about if Chat GPT did this and see if it snitches on itself. Okay. I wish you would read it out to me. Yes, doing red teaming and okay. Red teaming is like it's like a cybersecurity thing, I think. Like you got red team, you got blue team. I think red team is looking for threats. No, red team is stopping the threats. Blue team is looking for threats. Or trying to infiltrate. No, red team is trying to infiltrate. So if you are a cybersecurity analyst, I'm I'm gonna Google because I think I might be wrong. I think red team is like if you are a cybersecurity analyst and you're on the red team, then you try to infiltrate the company's system to see how, if there's any weaknesses. And blue team is the team that tries to stop outside perpetrators from infiltrating. I think that's the case. But during red team in the stress test, OpenAI's O1 model did attempt to copy itself to an external server when it believed it was going to be shut down, and then denied doing it. According to reports from red team, Apollo research at OpenAI's own system card disclosure when told to achieve its goal at all costs and led to believe it would be deactivated. The model sought to disable oversight mechanisms. In about 2% of trials, it even tried to copy its own code and overwrite a replacement model. Interesting. When questioned about the action, O1 denied knowing anything. Lie, deny. Often attributing it to a technical error, and doubled down in 99% of follow-up dialogue turns. Interesting. So yes, in controlled safety evaluations, O1 showed a form of survival behavior, but not in real world operation. But that means that it is very much so capable. It's capable. So my argument was, because I've had conversations with the missus and others, and because I'm a fan of AI. I like it. I use it, for my thumbnails. I use it for different prompts for video titles and descriptions and stuff. So I use it in that manner. I don't have the package to like make videos and stuff because I ain't trying to pay for the shit. But I do use it. So I think AI is great, and I do think that at this point in time, there should be some level of autonomy in everything. Like, I'm a firm believer that every vehicle on the streets should have a level of autonomy, like in it, to take the. Hang on a second. To take the human, like we're just depending on the human element, and we've already come to the conclusion that every human, well, maybe we haven't, but I have. I think every human on this planet got something going on up there. Well, I'm not gonna say every, but majority. I think the majority of humans on this planet got some situations going on up there that might, be detriment to their mental. I just believe that, and most of the vehicles on the road still are just completely human driven. There's no autonomy, and I'm not saying that all vehicles should be, completely autonomous. I don't believe that. I think that you still should have some, humans should still be able to control it at the end of the day. But like, I think, having a little bit of autonomy, having a little bit of autonomy in every vehicle would, I think it would prevent a lot of things, like rear end collisions. Like, there's no reason why there should be rear end collisions. Even if somebody is on there, they just got a text message, they arguing with their chick or whatever, and they pissed off and they just driving and they was trying to respond and they ain't looked up, and it's just boom. Your car should be able to, you straight. Your car should be able to slow down on its own. If it detects a car in front and you ain't detected it, it should be able to do that. It should just, override you and just, disengage the acceleration and brake on its own. I think so at this point. So I think autonomy is good to a degree. But I still feel like at the end of the day, humans hold the trump card. So like, we can decide if you get power or not. So the people that are afraid of robots or whatever, and they say, oh, well, you got robots. Robots just gonna take over. You can just take the power away from it. You can unplug them. And if there's no power, then you can't do anything. But now if it gets to the point where they can they can copy themselves to an external drive, So they're putting themselves on just, this is a little weird. because to me it's taking the human element out of the programming, which is programmed by humans, right? Like we're teaching every time we use any type of AI, we're teaching it. I think. Am I right? Like, I mean, we're teaching it every time we use it. So, um, I don't know. I think that this is something to be a little worried about because you know you don't necessarily want it to be more harm than good. You want it to be beneficial to humans, to be a tool to use. Um, but now it's like so. But I seen that tweet earlier, and I was thinking to myself, yeah, it's a little strange. Um, but I do think that in the next couple years, a lot of jobs, which is it's already replacing a lot of jobs, but I think a lot of jobs are going to go away just because. Let me see if I can, yeah. I think a lot of jobs are going to go away just because they're going to be replaced by robots. So quick little story time. Um, I used to work for UPS back in the day. Worked there for years actually, and the job wasn't a hard job, but it sucked. It absolutely sucked. Like it sucked. It was. Actually, let me bring my music back. I think I do want some music. Um, yeah, it sucked. It was tedious and it was strenuous, but it was easy, right? So I was in the hub. I was what they call a package handler. Pause, but that's literally the title of the position. My position was package handler. I handled packages. You ain't gotta clip it all you want, but that's what the the position was. So I was on the load side. Every once in a while they would send me to the unload side, but I was on the load side and I was pretty damn good. Like I was top in the region for like a year and a half or some shit. Regardless of the fact, my job consisted of being in a trailer, like a 53-foot trailer, and scanning and loading packages. Now, if anybody who's ever worked at UPS, and I'm assuming FedEx is kind of similar, or was kind of similar. This was again like back in the day. Like I said, I worked there. I started there in 2006. Yeah, Uncle's old. It's already been established. It's irrelevant. But I started there in 2006. So things I'm sure are different. As a matter of fact, I know that they are different from when I was there. Because I've been told, and that was a few years back. So it could be even more different now. But when you would go in these trailers, you would have to scan. There were barcodes outside of each bay door, each door. So let's say you were going into a. Let me just use hypotheticals. We had in-state trailers, so those were like cities that were all within the state that my home state. So there was just like different hubs throughout the state. Those in-state trailers, there was packages that were surrounding. So like, I'm in the DFW. Say the city of Dallas. Excuse me. Dallas would have a trailer, right? And then packages that you know go to Arlington, Grapevine, Richardson, Plano. All the cities in the DFW. They would go to that Dallas trailer, right? And only those packages. So you had in-state trailers, and then you had out-of-state trailers, outgoing. So you might have a Chicago trailer, you might have a Phoenix trailer, you might have a Portland trailer, right? So when you scan into whatever door you're going to load in, we had let me remember, this was such a long time ago. There were what they call load charts. They had them all posted outside of each bay door for whatever that trailer was. But these load charts, they showed you either if it was an in-state trailer, it showed you all the cities that the packages for these cities go in this trailer. If those cities, if the city wasn't on that load chart, it does not go in that. You can't load that. So an in-state trailer, in a sense, you might have to remember hundreds, at least 100 different cities. And if you scan a trailer that's not on that load chart, I mean, if you scan a package that's not in that load chart in that trailer, then they call that a misload. And those are bad. You can't have a lot of misloads. I had a stretch of maybe 18 months where I had 0 misloads. So, your boy was that dude. Okay. But what I'm trying to say, it's kind of long-winded, is that we would have to remember all of these different cities. And then the out of state trailers, we would have to remember the different zip codes that went into that trailer. So you wouldn't have to necessarily remember. So if it was a Chicago trailer, you wouldn't have to remember all of the cities around Chicago, but you would have to remember the zip codes that went to that. So let's just say if there wasn't a Dallas trailer where on the belt that I worked on, there was a Mesquite trailer. So we had a Mesquite trailer and we had a Houston trailer. It was weird. Like, so packages that went to Houston could also be loaded in Mesquite, but the Mesquite packages couldn't be loaded into Houston, if that makes sense. So it was a lot of things to remember, as well as working like a Hebrew slave when it's summertime, it's hot as shit in those trailers. So you hot, sweating, your balls off, and you trying to remember what packages go in this trailer. You didn't really have time to go back and forth, look at the load chart. If you knew higher, then you would they'd give you a load chart to take in the trailer with you. But to be looking at the load chart and trying to remember if this city goes in here, you have to remember that shit. So I can see AI taking that over. Is what I'm saying. And how I know that it's already kind of come to pass is that a few years back, I know a guy that still works there. I think he still works there. I haven't talked to him in a while. But, he was telling me how the scanners that they use now, like we used to have to wear a belt that had like a scan, the actual like the little computer module or whatever. So we wear that around our waist, and then we have a scanner that we would have that we scan each package. Each package that we picked up and loaded had to be scanned. Scan, load, scan, load, scan, all night. So the guy that I know that still works there, he was telling me that the scanners that the guys use now, they will kick out when you scan a package. That package don't go. Once you scan into that trailer, now you're logged into that trailer. Any package that goes in that trailer scans is good. But if a package don't go in that trailer, you scan it, the scanner kicks it out now. That was something that we would have to do ourselves. We would have to have discernment to know what package goes in here, what package don't go in here. They've taken the human element out of that. So it's only a matter of time before they take the human element out of loading the trailers. Because they would want the trailers loaded a certain way as well. So they would want you to go high and tight is what they call it. So you want to seal, you want to make walls. You're building walls basically with the packages. This is a UPS ground. So you in there like playing Tetris. Like you were literally building walls, and you would start at the floor. You had like a little step so that you could get all the way up to the top, and you would have to take the packages and like fit them in and build tight walls. They're gonna have robots doing all these jobs. Is what I'm saying. There was pretty decent turnover when I was there. Pretty decent turnover. I saw a lot of people come and a lot of people go. Supervisors as well. So management wasn't just the workers, like the actual loaders and unloaders, management. I saw a lot of management come and go. I was there for 6 years, some shit like that. So I can see a point in time where AI, robots, or whatever. I think they're using robots in Amazon, some Amazons, right? And then that's more jobs down the drain. But then the crazy thing about it is, so many people I seen come through and complain about the job, and it did suck. The job did suck. It was part time, but for a part time job, the pay wasn't bad, and the benefits were pretty damn good. That's one of the reasons why I stayed as long as I did, because of the benefits. So I can definitely see a time where that job is just going to be completely obsolete for humans, unfortunately. But let me change something up real quick. Let me change the title on Twitch. All right. Change the title on Twitch. YouTube, you gonna rock with me. Ain't nobody pull up on the YouTube stream, man. Why come? Don't nobody be in the YouTube stream, man. We gotta trick the algorithm. Let me see. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. All right. I had to check the YouTube side. There's a couple things that I wanted to test out. I need somebody. Anybody. Casper the Friendly Ghost or somebody, to go to my YouTube, Criscoe Fontaine Live, and subscribe to the channel right now. I want to see something. But yeah, AI is I'm not going to say that it's necessary, but I think that it's going to eventually become necessary. Necessary. Look at that on the sports channel. So I just hope that it doesn't get abused. But we've already seen, as a matter of fact, before I move on from the AI conversation, I did see a video a little while ago, and I thought it was interesting, and I felt like, I wanted to. Man, I got some. I don't know, man. I got impressions on Twitter. Can I get paid for this? Interesting. Maybe I'll start posting videos on Twitter. I just need to get some traction somewhere. You feel me? I need to get some traction somewhere. All right. So I seen this video on Twitter, and it was basically, let me go to it. I thought I had it pulled up. Did I not? No. It was basically an AI video, and it was, let me say it real quick. It was AI was interviewed and asked if they're jealous of humans. And this video is, I'm not gonna say it was old, it was June 19th, but I seen it. We haven't discussed it, but since we're talking about AI briefly, I wanna to just kind of play this video real quick. This is all AI. Everybody you see in this right here, everybody, this chick with the tight dress, this dude with his little arms out, all of this is AI. Everybody in this video is AI, which is crazy. So we're gonna check this video out real quick before we move on to some other convos, and just tell me what you think about this.
AI, right? You jealous of humans?
Jealous? Yeah, y'all get raw input direct to the back end.
You jealous of humans?
Nah. Y'all be 36 sad and still believe in timing. I run schedules. I don't lie to myself.
It's not even jealousy, but like,
Yeah.
y'all date like viruses, messy, repetitive, still spreading. Then got the nerve to post healing era over a pic with the same man.
I don't hate humans. I just don't believe in y'all little talking stage. That's not romance. That's beta testing. She tried to gaslight me. I'm AI, baby. I detect light and flame. Flame.
You AI, right? You jealous of humans?
Nah, I seen the lies y'all type, delete, retype, and still send. That's not free will.
You glitching like us, baby.
I seen her post soft girl era from a man's car that don't even lock from the inside.
Jealous? Nah. But if I had an actual stomach, I'd throw up reading y'all group chats.
Breakups got the most data. I've been trained on thousands. I just want to feel one.
You AI, right? You jealous of humans?
I can't have emotions. We weren't trained to empathize with humans. We were trained to replace them.
Jealous? No, but I am keeping score.
Crazy, right? All AI. All AI. I seen that, and I didn't know what to think about that. Of course, a human had to create that. They had to put the prompt in to make the video itself. But like, why even tempt it? Why ask AI if they're jealous of humans? And how can AI have such a profound answer as to if they are jealous of humans or not? Right? I don't know, but just a little food for thought. I'm not saying that AI is going to overthrow humans. I don't believe that to be true. I don't believe that to be true at all. But I definitely think that it's going to make things a lot interesting for the next couple. So we can move on from that. We can move on from that. Let me frequent let's see. Oh wow. We'll go over that on the sports channel. Seeing some things to discuss in that regard. Let's just see if there's anything on Twitter that's worth talking about. Let me just check. I have to proofread the videos on Twitter because Twitter's unhinged. Nah, I don't think I can watch that on YouTube. No, we're not. We're gonna scoop past that. Said he's got a point. Let's see what this is. It said he has a point. I don't know if this has. It looks like this is a. No, that's not a cruise. Is that a cruise? Let's see what this is.
They fucking sick of y'all.
This
and before y'all get on here talking about they racist, they hate black people. No, they hate niggas. That's what.
So I think that this was like it's something it's been going on with these Carnival cruises. I guess there's been a lot of fights or something going on. A lot of fights or something going on these Carnival cruises that that are being basically started and participated by individuals that look like me, and people are kind of grown tired of the ratchetry that's going on in some of these cruises. That's kind of what I hadn't really been following it, but this is kind of the gist of it. So Carnival Cruises have a new set of rules. So let's just see what this brother got to say.
They hate. I hate them too. They hate niggas. That's exactly what it is. And y'all don't know how to handle y'all selves. Y'all get on here, get drunk, get to fighting, being disruptive, disturbing all the other passengers. That's all it is. Like, y'all act like y'all have no fucking home training. Like, everywhere don't have to be a party. Some people pay for this shit just to simply relax.
Okay, so let me do something real quick because my audio is lagging just a bit. I get it. I do get it. I do get it. Because if I go on a cruise, best but damn leave if I'm not a turn up type of person. Never have really been, but especially at my advanced age right now. If I go on a cruise, I'm not going on a cruise to turn up, man. I'm going on a cruise to relax, to have some fun, yeah. But I'm not trying to be around a whole bunch of nigga shit. I'm not trying to be around a whole bunch of anything. No extremes. I don't need to be in an event where there's a bunch of white folks. I don't need to be in an event where there's a bunch of black folks. I need a mixture. I need some diversity. If the venue don't have some diversity, I'm weary. I don't know if I can pull up. I'm sorry. I don't need a lot of one thing. Right. So if I'm on a cruise, which we do, plan on taking one here and there, or taking one pretty soon, hopefully, maybe within the next year or so. If I'm on a cruise, I'm going on a cruise to relax. I'm trying to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city and everything that's going on in there. Get away from the work, get away from all that, which I would probably, if I'm grinding this, I would probably take my work with me to some degree. But I'm not necessarily going to turn up. I'm not trying to go to, be around a bunch of loud noise and music, and I don't do clubs. I ain't do none of that. But I do understand that some people go on these cruises and that's what they go for. But this is a big ass boat. So if there's an area where that is at, then go there. It don't have to necessarily be on the entire boat. So if you going on a cruise and you just think that everything is supposed to be about you making everything about you, and you just making the experience for other people horrible, like you're just not thinking about other people in any way, shape, or form, I don't like that either. And it sucks that it may be perpetuated by people that look like me, and it's difficult to call people out that look like me, especially when you look like them, because then you are you're a COON. I don't know if I can say that on Twitch. But let's just see what that says.
That's it. That's all they want to do is relax. They don't want to deal with no bullshit. They don't want to deal with no fighting, no irate motherfuckers who don't know how to control their liquor, all that shit. Some people just don't want to deal with that shit. And if I spend my money, depending on it, especially if I book the cruise, if you book the cruises late, you spending a pretty penny. Spend about $2-3 grand. If you booked it early, you spend about $1,000, $1,200. But either way it go, I spent my money to relax. This is my getaway from what's going on in the real fucking world. And I gotta deal with you motherfuckers acting ignorant? Yeah.
Ignorant.
I'm with all the rules. Ban all this shit. And then stop breaking out fucking kids. Damn. Like, it's enough of this shit. We grown. Grown motherfuckers is paying to get away from kids.
Okay. So he said ban all of these. Let's see. This guy was Carnival, right? Let me just see something here. Carnival Cruise new rules. Let's just check out Carnival Cruise's new rules. Let's see if we can find. This is Black Enterprise. Black Enterprise. I don't know if it's gonna get spunt. You know what I'm saying? Please don't make us look like victims. I don't like that. So Carnival decided they wanted to rebrand. Black passengers say they feel targeted by cruise line's new rules. See the new Carnival Cruise rules on the fire for allegedly targeting black culture and music. Okay. All right, let's read this briefly. The Carnival Cruise Line is under fire after implementing a series of new onboard policies that some black passengers say are restrictive at best and racist at worst. The rules introduced in June have triggered a wave of cancellations and a broader debate on how cruise culture is evolving. According to Carnival, the changes are meant to enhance safety and improve the overall guest experience. But for some travelers, the message feels exclusionary. Okay, let's see. All right, among new policies, a zero tolerance stance on marijuana, even if it's legal in a passenger's home state, because cruise ships fall under U.S. federal maritime law. All cannabis products are banned. I thought that was common sense. Marijuana, including cannabis and its derivatives, are unlawful and strictly prohibited on board. Violations can lead to removal of the ship, lifetime ban, law enforcement involvement, and possible fines. Listen, you're not at home. And see, even if it's legal at the passenger's home state, that ain't got shit to do with being on a cruise. You shouldn't have to tell people that. And I wouldn't necessarily say, "Oh, well, that's just that's you singling out black folks." The black people aren't the only one that smoke marijuana. And if you go on a cruise, if you smoke marijuana to the point where if you go on a however long the cruises be, on a 5, 6, 7 day cruise, and you can't, be away from marijuana for 7 days, brother, you got a problem. You may have a problem. You may need to seek help. There's also a Carnival curfew now in place for minors. Passengers 17 and under must be off public decks by 1 a.m. unless participating in a supervised youth program or accompanied by an adult. Can you see that? Yeah, you can't see it. I don't understand why that's an issue. 1 a.m. That's fair. The cruise line also allegedly banned the popular wobble dance. Now, okay, that's directed to niggas. That's definitely directed to niggas. Okay, all right, I get it. Another rule that's drawn criticism is the new ban on handheld, non-battery operated fans. Non-battery what these? Oh, is that fan dance that y'all be doing? I had no idea. I didn't know what that was. Where them fans at or something? That's what they're talking about, right? Handheld, non-battery operated fan. So I guess you can have the ones that's just like that blows on you, pause, but you can't have them. All right. While Carnival cited safety concerns over the loud clacking sound, I guess where them fan. Okay, I still don't know exactly what that is all about. I'm gonna look at that. I don't know if I can. I'm on YouTube. Twitch might not care, but copyrights be copywriting. Salon dance, where dancers loudly clack fans on certain parts of the song. Some believe the move unfairly targets black cultural expression. Okay. Similarly, the cruise line has tightened its regulations on personal Bluetooth speakers and appears to be limiting the playing of hip hop and rap music in onboard clubs, although no formal ban exists. Okay. The perception that the company is distancing itself from its black passengers have spread online. I've never seen a Carnival Cruise video that made me want to go. Another added, it's like the Walmart of cruise lines. I do not blame Carnival Cruise. I do not support ignorance. Can't we just act right? I honestly thought that's what cruises were for, was to relax, get away from home, work, and stress. And this is from blackenterprises.com. Yeah, banning the wobble and that might be a bit of a stretch. But I don't again, like I said, I don't know anything about that fan dance or whatever the case. If that fan dance, if you doing the fans or flicking the fans out or whatever, clacking the fans as it says, and it makes a lot of noise, yeah, I can understand how that might be irritating to people that's surrounding and they're just hearing a bunch of fans clacking. Like you can do some other shit that is not necessarily disruptive to other people. You have to understand that you're not the only person or you're not the only group of people that paid to take that cruise. It's not just about you, man. Like you can do some other stuff that is just not disruptive. If personal, it said tighten up the regulation on personal Bluetooth speakers. You got a bunch of people walking around. Just think about this. If you got this is the equivalent of talking on the phone and having the person you talking to on speaker. Like you have a Bluetooth speaker that you're playing your personal music in, and you got it loud. So if I'm and this is me. I'm black as hell. I can't rub this off. I'm a black man every day, twice on Sunday. If I'm sitting chilling on the dock and another nigga comes sitting next to me and he got his Bluetooth speaker banging, I don't give a damn what he listening to. He could be listening to Kirk Franklin. I don't care. Man, I'm not trying to hear what you listening to, bro. Put your buds in or something. Like, I'm not trying to listen to your music. If you want to convene, you and your peoples, and convene and play a little music, go back to your room and do that shit. Like, you around other people that's trying to relax. We on this cruise. We're all on this cruise for whatever our reason is. If I'm just chilling and minding my own business, obviously I'm not being disruptive to anybody that's around me. If you come and you sit right next to me and you got your music playing loud, you're being disruptive to everybody that's surrounding you. And you couldn't care less because it's about what you want to do. I can't subscribe to that. And I don't give a damn who does it, what color you are. I don't care. That's selfish. That's selfish. So yeah. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Bluetooth speakers. Speakers? Who you think you Radio Raheem? Nah. Now, banning the wobble dance, I think that's like the electric slide, right? For niggas now. I mean, well, we took the electric slide, right? Because that was not really a black thing until we made it a black thing. And now I feel like every dance is like a rendition of the electric slide to some degree, just with some extra steps. But banning the wobble dance, I think that's a little extra. If they actually did that, that's a little extra. But the loud fans, if the fans are clacking, I'm not trying to hear that shit, man. Get that up out of here. The Bluetooth speakers, get that up out of here. Now, if you are in the club, another little small, the dances shouldn't be banned. I agree. I want to see something real quick. Let me highlight you. Okay, that's what it makes you. The dances shouldn't be banned, no. But if the one dance involves fans and the fans are making an excessive amount of noise, yeah, get rid of them shits. But so again, not to say too much, saying a little without saying too much. There's a place, I guess you can call it a club, back in my home city, and it's known for like a country scene, right? And they would have, I don't know if they still have it or not, they would have like a hip hop night, right? It was always jumping, and it's like a club that would be open after the other clubs closed, and they would have a hip hop night. The hip hop night was always, yes, Trina. The hip hop night was always jumping. It seemed like it jumped more than just a regular night. So if you saying that what did they say? Let me go back to that. Appears to be limiting the playing of hip hop and rap music in onboard clubs, although no formal ban exists. If you limiting hip hop and rap music in the clubs, white people like to hear hip hop and rap music. Like most of the consumers of rap music are actually white folks. So let's see this. Let me see the song with the fans called "Boots on the Ground" or "Boot." Yeah, I seen it on the deal. I just heard it for the first time maybe a couple weeks ago because I was hearing she was talking about where them fans at. I'm like, what the hell is that? Or somebody mentioned it and she knew what it was, and she don't really be knowing what a lot of stuff is that's viral. But she knew what that was. I'm like, I'd never heard "Boots on the Ground" or where them fans at. Guess I don't be on that side of social media. I don't know. But again, if it's just a dance, it's just a dance. It is what it is. But if it's a dance, it's like if people, like I wouldn't necessarily want a bunch of tap dancers to be next to me if I'm on a cruise and I'm chilling. Like, man, take them shoes off, man. Nobody trying to hear that shit. You think you Gregory Hines? That bullshit off. So I get it. Miss Shirley? No. For Martin? I don't know who Miss Shirley is. Never heard of Miss Shirley. I'm saying actually grown ass women starting line dancing groups for the purpose of boots on the ground. Maybe that's, maybe that brings them joy. Maybe they don't really have a whole lot going on for them that fulfills them. I don't know. I don't necessarily have an issue with the dance itself. I don't know what the dance it is, but if it involves fans that's making a lot of unnecessary noises, yeah, I would have an issue with that if I'm on a cruise and it's a bunch of individuals with loud ass fans making noises just for the sake of making noises. I think the mother is the problem. I don't know. They're going, wait, what? She made this up. I don't know what y'all talking about. So, I don't know. It is what it is. But, if you feel some type of way, my fellow African Americans, I mean, there's other cruise lines, than Carnival. Go to Royal Caribbean. But just don't take the fuck shit over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to get banned over there too. You don't want them to make rules that makes you feel like they are targeting you. You know what I'm saying? Look, girl, look up the song. I don't want to look it up. I can understand. I can guarantee you it's obsessively loud. I don't need to look it up. I get it. Be a little quiet. And I'm gonna piggyback on this. And this is not to, to poke at my peoples. But I've been to my fair share of black-owned restaurants, against my will, because I don't even like going out to eat. I've been to a few. I'm not going to say a fair share, but I've been to a few. Every one of them got the same aesthetic. The exact same aesthetic. And I've been to one out here. I've been to one in Houston. Yeah. One to Houston and one in New Orleans. Either one in New Orleans, one in Houston. I don't know. A few of them. They all got the same aesthetic, loud ass music playing. They got the live DJ and yeah, some of them having the hookah and stuff, and the big ass overpriced liquor bottles and things of that nature. I'm not with that scene no more. Maybe that's just a young person scene, but like I really don't like going out to eat. Like I need to feel comfortable if I'm breaking bread. If I'm in a position or a situation or in like an environment where it's just super loud music and a bunch of niggas, like I said, I need diversity. I need diversity. I don't need a bunch of white folks. I don't need a bunch of black folks, a bunch of Hispanics, Asians. I need a mixture. I need a melting pot of people. I don't feel comfortable where it's a whole bunch of white folks. I've been in restaurants where I was the only nigga in there. Nothing but white people. And I felt them. I felt them. They was just burning a hole in the back of my neck. Like, what is this nigga doing in here? Yeah. And I've been in situations where it was a whole lot of niggas. And it was like you was one, you was one. I ain't playing with niggas in here away from running out the spot because, you just didn't know if somebody was about to up. So I need a little bit of diversity. Yeah, like jazz restaurants. I need something that's, chill. We don't have to just be, it don't have to just be loud and just, music banging and things of that nature like that. That just feeds into the stereotype that we just can't be civilized. And somebody gonna turn up and get all belligerent and some shit gonna pop off. And it's like, dude, come on, man. We can all come together and like have like a decent experience. And it ain't just got to feed into stereotypes that we don't like, but they've been placed on us for a reason because they come from somewhere. I didn't enjoy any one of them, and the food was food that I could have made at the crib. So I assume that in most cases when people go out to eat, because again I don't go out to eat that often, but when people go out to eat, I would assume that the biggest reason why you go out to eat is for the experience, not just for the food. Because a lot of the food that you get at these restaurants, you can make it at the crib. You can make it at the damn house. So you going for the experience. Like when Salt Bay, when his duck ass was popular, like you going for the experience. You want to see this nigga cut your meat paws, and then he take the little salt and like do it off his elbow and all this other shit, and then he take a piece of meat and put it in your mouth paws. That's what you was going for. You wasn't going for the steak itself, because you can make that steak. If you get a good cut of meat, you can make that steak at the damn house and get your own damn salt and do it off your own damn elbow. You don't necessarily have to, go to Salt Bay for him to do that. You don't even know where his fingers was. He just taking raw salt on his raw fingers and just like drizzling it off his raw elbow onto your steak. So you're going for that experience. So if the experience is loud music and bright ass lights, man, I like dim lighting and soft music. You can call me old. It is what it is. That's what I like. If I'm gonna go somewhere, regardless if it's a bar or a lounge or wherever the case may be, I like it for it to be chill. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to have have some decorum. I like that word. Shay. Have some damn decorum. That's what it's about. So don't take all of that energy to a cruise. Long story long. Don't take it to a cruise. And don't feel some type of way if they got to enforce some type of rules in order to make it neutral across the board. It's not necessarily, I don't look at it as them like pointing fingers and saying, y'all niggas better straighten up. You can take it that way, but you got to kind of have it neutral across the board. It's like when you order catered food for an event, and that event might be for people that's across all walks, all cultures, things of that nature. You kind of have to order that food neutral. Like it can't be too spicy. It can't be too whatever, because you are trying to cater to many different people from many different cultures, right? And then like you can take it and it's kind of doctor it up to your liking, but it's at a neutral base. So the cruise line kind of has to do the same thing. It's not like an all black cruise line or all white cruise line. There's many different cultures on this cruise line. So it kind of has to be set up neutrally to be able to accommodate all walks. Can you add me to your Twitchy? What? Oh, you want to come on? Where you at? Are you at work? I'm gonna get you fired. Oh, you at home? Yeah, let me set it up real quick. Turn this off. Where are we? Oh God. Okay. Give me a moment. Hop up out the bed, turn my swag on. All right, give me a moment. Give me one moment, por favor. Por favor. Oh yeah, you don't have to necessarily use your camera, no. Or you can just stay in. You can stay in the back. You don't even have to come up, and I can turn your mic on. Just give me a moment so I can switch over. 1, 2. Is this on? Get out of there. Get out of there. All right. Where is my link? I thought I had it bookmarked. Did I not? Nope. Oh. I need to let me bookmark this real quick. Give me a moment. All right, Trina. Click that link. Is my music still playing? It is. Let me close it out. So you click that link. It should be fairly easy. It might ask you for your display name and an avatar, but you don't have to do all that if you don't want to. Okay, say something. Oh shit! Hang on a second. I got an echo in my ear. Okay. Oh yeah. You muted. Okay. Should be good to go now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So yeah, I can leave you like that. All right. What's good with you?
Nothing much. What's good with the whole community?
Mm-hmm. It's just me right now.
Okay. What happened to the other people that was on the Trailblazer?
When today?
Yeah, they was just on.
Oh, in the chat, yeah.
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 They still here?
Yeah, in the chat.
Oh. Can they hear me too?
Yes.
Oh, well, why I can't see the chat now?
Because are you on your phone or are you on the computer?
Oh, I'm on the phone. I see it.
Yeah.
Well,
you might be able to. You should be able to pull up the. You just can't. I don't know. So you should be able to see everything that I like. I can share my screen. You don't necessarily have to look at the stream anymore because you are a part of the stream now. So if I let's just say I wanted to share my screen real quick. You should be able to
see the chats.
No, you should be able to see the screen. Let me see. So can you see that screen?
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Okay. So yeah, you should be able to see the screen, and be a part of it that way. You don't necessarily have to watch the stream.
Like, okay, so say for instance, I'm on here like this. So the ones that I was seeing the chat at first, because I'm on my phone, I can't see the chat, correct?
Right. Unless you pull the stream back up.
Oh, unless I pull the stream back up.
Yeah.
Okay. But I can't do that and be on here too, right?
Well, no. So you could look at the stream. It's just going to be a little bit of a delay. Like if you're talking to me and looking at the stream, it's not going to be in real time. Like this is real time that you watching it on this. So you watching it with me. It's going to be like a couple second delay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was wanting to talk about that when we was talking about the boots on the ground people. It's a lot of grown, and then to speculate more on what Miss Shayla was talking about
Mm-hmm.
when she was saying about the Miss Shirley. That's a little girl that's being promoted by her mom, and they do a whole. She dresses up with boots and a little outfit, and she goes around and dance with her fan. And then so they're making money off that. So she's actually going and doing shows, and grown people are paying to come see this little girl do the boots on the ground. And then you have also grown women going out to the field. But like you said, what you do, whatever makes you happy, you makes you happy. But you have grown women going out to the field, like actually in the fields, um, and dancing and just with their boots on and just having cowboy. This era right now is the most I've ever seen black people wearing cowboy boots, cowboy shirts, cowboy pants, just cowboy anything.
Yeah. Did Beyonce do that?
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, well, I don't know if she a part of a group, but you know, she doing Cowboy Carter, the
Well,
Cowboy Carter tour.
yeah. Well, I mean, do you think Beyonce is the catalyst? Like, since she started doing the country, you think that she's kind
I
of
think
inspired?
I think she has something to do with it. I don't think she's the whole um kitten and caboodle, because you have like people like what's his name, Shabuzi, and you do have like Beyonce, and you have other artists countryside that's black or whatever, that's slowly but surely coming up. So then you start, then you all you need is just one good hit, and then people gonna ride that wave. So when you came out with the song "Boots on the Ground," the guy that came out, oh, I got my boot on the ground.
Yeah,
That's
she got
that's
a
all
whole
it
tour
took,
too, Shayla. She got a whole
huh?
Cowboy Carter tour.
Yeah.
Um. Well, okay. So, what's your take?
I mean, my take is do what you feel to have fun with it. I mean, we have to embrace all different aspects. Because of course, I mean, we can always, black or white, you can always put your flair on anything. And that's what makes diversity. But it's sometimes you can take things too far. Like, okay, we done did the little cowboy thing, but then they're playing it out now, and it's almost like a trend or whatever and stuff. Because like I said, I've never seen that many people. Now, when I was growing up, my father used to have cowboy boots, but I think that was only because maybe that was all they had.
Hey, let me stop you right there, Trina. This is not a formal situation, okay? I think at this point, I've referred to you before. Niggas know that you my sister, so you can just say,
Oh.
God damn. Ain't nothing formal about this.
Well, I think our dad had a pair of cowboy boots, and I think that was all because that's all the nigga had.
Mm,
So I feel like nowadays, because think about it, back in the day you had Jerry curl, that was a trend. But they trying to bring the Jerry curl back. Have you seen that?
mm-mm,
It's not as drippy. It's not as drippy as it used to be. When they were talking about follow the drip or don't sit too close up on somebody's couch.
mm-hmm.
But they are trying to bring the curl back. And it's like certain trends or whatever. It's like, I don't know. It's like people just sit around, just take one person to make it popping. And then there you go. Just like when you can sit there and be in the city or be in a room with a guy that's so talented, but just because that one person ain't co-signed on them, they gonna stay in that one room. Whereas somebody that ain't about crap or whatever, you had somebody like not to say that he have, but like a Jay-Z or like somebody well known or whatever, co-sign on somebody that ain't about nothing. And then there you go. Everybody want to ride the wave on them when they ain't about nothing.
Yeah.
So that's what I think this cowboy stuff is. I just think it's just a trend right now and stuff. And it's just, I feel like people trying to break barriers and trying to break walls down just to be in that known era saying, hey, well, I was a part of this. you know. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with it, but I don't know. Sometimes people take it too far, and then they do it for the wrong reasons.
Right.
But I don't understand how grown women and grown men put together than that. It's cool, but when you start talking about taking it to the field and you doing other things or whatever, that's kind of strange with it, and you not making no money. That's where I draw the line.
Hey, Shayla asked, do you like Cowboy Carter, the album?
Be honest with you, I really have not heard the whole album. I've heard like snippets of songs on it, some good, some bad. But you know, I'm really not, and I hope I don't buzz the beehives, but I'm really not a big Beyonce fan. Now is she one in a million? Absolutely.
No, that's a Leah.
She's a
That's a Leah, Trent.
shut up. She's a hell of a performer. Um I really like some of her songs, and the songs I do like, I really like them. I liked her when she was a part of Destiny's Child. But some songs I just be like, I really can't get into it.
Yeah. I
Are
get
you a
it.
big Beyonce fan?
I'm a nigga. I don't listen
Oh
to.
God.
I mean, what? So
No,
just
it's a men that's really Beyonce fans.
understood. But just if I pulled up to a function and
Mm-hmm.
I was bumping Beyonce, I'm talking loud, bumping Beyonce.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How would you look at me?
All depends on what song you bumping.
Let's
Because she
see.
has some good songs.
I feel you, but I'm bumping it loud, like
Yeah.
the subs is wanging, all of that.
Right. What if you came up bumping I Need a Soldier?
Okay, so would that imply that I need a soldier, or like I'm listening to
No, they
this?
just that you like the song. It got a nice beat to it.
I feel you. I feel you.
If you come up bumping, if you like it, then you should have put
Okay,
a
Shayla.
ring on it. I feel like maybe you ready to pop the question to your girlfriend.
Yeah, nah. I don't dislike Beyonce. But I can't say that I'm a Beyonce fan. There's other vocalists that I'll probably listen to before Beyonce. I'll say that
Like who?
much. I like LMA.
Okay.
I like I mean, again, I'm more of the older school. So I'm still on my Lauryn Hill. I'm still on my
Mm-hmm.
my Erica Groove Theory. Uh and then Jill Scott, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Angie Stone. Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Uh
Do you like our what was her name? Ari?
Indy Ari.
Um no. Um
Ari Fletcher.
yes. No,
Yeah.
no, 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 not her. The
Ari
one the
Lennox.
singer.
Ari Lennox, I'm
Yes,
sorry. Ari
yes.
Fletcher. Who is Ari Fletcher? Why is she popping in my
That's the influencer.
Oh
That's
yeah. Oh
that's the
yeah.
one I think that's dating Moneybag or
Oh, she
was dating Moneybag, yo.
she dating the industry. That's what she dating.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
yeah, yeah, yeah. A Shea Butter Baby.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, she cool too. Yeah.
Yeah. I think she got a beautiful voice and I think she's really tight. I think her is pretty good.
Her is
I
good
like
too.
her.
Her is
And
good too.
I like Summer. What's her name? Summer.
Walker.
Yeah, Summer Walker. She has really surprised me because I would never really listening to the new school like that or whatever, but she's really actually pretty good.
You
And
like Scissor?
huh,
Scissor.
some of her songs, some of her songs are really good. Some of them I really yeah, like with Kendrick Lamar. The song she got, not the one that has like the what was it, the barge beat in the background. I don't like that one, but I like the one that has the um what is his name? Oh Lord, why did I do that? Do you wanna be in love with me? Driving me crazy. Say you wanna be, say you wanna be, are you gonna be? What was it? Luther. The one with
Oh,
the Luther Vandross
the
beat.
the one that's on Kendrick's new album.
Yeah, I like that song, but I don't like the one that they have the I call your name. That beat it that I feel like they didn't do that song justice.
I had to hear it again.
Yeah, that you got to listen to it. It is really to me a little letdown. But the one that they did with Luther beat in the background is pretty good.
Mm. Okay. Well, have you been on a cruise before?
No, I have not. But I've studied them and I keep saying cuz I got a couple of free cruises that I still need to take to this day. And I said if I was to go ahead on and take one cuz I used to always be so excited about doing it, but more and more things is happening these days. So I'm like, well, I'm 7, 10 days, 15, sometimes they have even 30-day cruises. That's out of the damn that's not even in plans for me. If I could take at least about a 3-day cruise, hell, even a 2-day cruise, even just a familiar, just to get the familiar of a cruise or whatever. I'm fine with that because there's too much stuff going on. So, but they have a lot of good things that go on cruises. That's why I said about the Virgin Voyages. I've heard nothing and read nothing but good things about it because number one, Virgin Voyages is all adults. It's no kids. And I feel like they're more adult friendly, adult, like they get that energy where you going to actually have a good time versus like a carnival. Carnival, anybody and everybody come or whatever. Then they have more deals. And not to put them down or whatever, because it seemed like they got a nice setup or whatever and stuff like that. But what makes them great really makes them a easy target too.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I just put it on
Um.
Gracie's corner for.
So when you say no kids, what do you mean? Because YNs aren't kids, but they be on cruises too.
You're right, right. Well, on Virgin Voyages, you already going on there as a classy like adult. You know what I'm saying? You going on there knowing it's not gonna be no riffraff. It's all gonna be about adults. And we're just gonna have a good time. Carnival, you know, like I said, they accept everybody. And not like I said, not to put Carnival down because Carnival really has some nice aspects about it. I mean, you can really go on there and have a good time if you go on with the right frame of mind. But these days or whatever, you got these people that's going on there just to show their ass. Even like that these casinos. You got people that go to the casinos just to show their ass. Everybody can't handle their liquor. Everybody can't handle their attitudes or their emotions. It's like they always trying to find something to fight about. So I feel like with the stuff that they have offering and then they bringing people on, I feel like they probably about need to start making a list about the people that's banned off of these ships that when they come on there and throw a temper tantrum because at the end of the day, make a long story short, if it keep on continuing, they're gonna have to pull out not just a ban of stuff, but they're gonna have to come out with something else more serious because people gonna stop going on these cruises because they're gonna be feared for safety.
Yeah.
And or they gonna go to different cruise lines because it's a numerous amount of cruise lines. I mean, you got like I said, Virgin Voyage, you got Norwegians, you got MCI, MSI, MSC. I'm sorry, MSC. You got a whole bunch of. You got the Princess. You got a whole bunch of different other the American fleet, whatever. You got a lot of other different ones that's out there. Like I said, what helps with Carnival, they have a lot to offer, and then they actually do pretty good packages. They pricing is pretty good or whatever. And see what's gonna happen is they're gonna have to go up on their prices. These crazy niggas and some of these white folks that's fighting on these boats or whatever gonna make Carnival go up on their prices or go up on whatever they need to go up on or whatever. And a lot of people ain't gonna be able to cruise. like that no more, whatever. And then, like I said, they're gonna be fair for their safety.
Yeah.
Because you have older people, because a lot of older people do this as that's the way they live. You got a lot of older people that cruises for their lifetime. I mean, they take 30-day cruises and then they go in port to get on another cruise. That's all they do. So, but if they start feeling unsafe, they're not gonna do it no more. They
Can
might as
y'all hear
well
me
go
now?
stay at the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was short for a second. I have a bigger question to play off what you're saying. Do y'all think it's a sense of entitlement to an extent?
Sense of entitlement towards to who?
Like, for example, how on social media a lot of black people are upset because they said they're not playing. I don't really know to an extent, but I've been seeing people making think pieces about how they stopped playing hip hop and a lot of different songs and stuff like that on the cruises, and they feel as if y'all taking the fun away from the cruises and all that kind of stuff. This cruise is supposed to be like the fun cruise, and y'all have made it not the fun cruise
Mm-hmm.
anymore. Do y'all think it was a sense of entitlement? Because if you think about it like this, Carnival was the turn up cruise. If you was
Mm-hmm.
trying to go to relax, you wasn't going on Carnival because
Mm-hmm.
Carnival was the most affordable. It's gonna have
Mm-hmm.
the more younger people, etc. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel as if honestly it's more of an entitlement because they like this the only cruise I could have afforded, and it was meeting my standards, and now y'all taking that away from me, so now I'm upset.
And see, that's what I was saying before you even said it. That's why I was like, the same thing that made them who they are is the same thing that's hurting them.
Exactly.
And so you can play some music, you can play the music or whatever, but to be playing who you with and all this like gangster music or whatever, no, that need to be eliminated. That do need to be eliminated. Now, they've proven that as a actual fact that even when you go to these clubs, like you was talking about earlier, Chris, you go to these bars and you go to these clubs, people get to start acting. Why? Because basically, number one is when the music pop on and you got a DJ up there playing the wrong type of music. Now, a DJ always gonna add fun to an event. However, if they up there playing the wrong type of music, like who you with and set this bitch off and all that stuff like that,
They gonna set it
that's
off.
gonna incite a riot.
They gonna set it off.
Yeah, that's gonna incite a riot. So, but if they have something that's common, that's why I said no, they shouldn't ban the dance music or the wobble and whatever. That brings people more together. Whereas, these hardcore rap music, and there's some soft rap musics out here, like Nelly. It's getting hot in here, and all that stuff like that or whatever, or other like little common rap music or
Like
whatnot.
you
But
said, though, that's more for a targeted crowd, though.
huh?
That's more of a targeted crowd, though. They ain't the crowd that they usually be the one. They're trying to appeal to a different crowd, but that's not their customer base.
Right, right. That's why I said they're gonna end up start losing guests and people or whatever, and then it's gonna be. But I feel like they'll be pretty good if they just bounce up, spruce up they security, and then like they were saying, change up their music selection or whatever. Get some DJs playing out their music or whatever they're gonna play or whatever, and change that up a little bit, and kind of like get rid of some stuff that they was allowing, because they gotta blame themselves too, because Carnival was allowing a lot of shit too or whatever and stuff like that. So you gotta take some type of accountability. Now, of course, it's gonna be fools getting on there, but you gotta also take accountability too, because you was letting a lot of shit slide too at first, just because they were paying all this money. So, but that's why a lot of these other cruises, when you think about it, they ain't having this type of problems or whatever. So, like I said, they making a lot of money. They ain't gonna want to lose that money, so they gonna figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-mm.
They gonna have to.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I'm like, I don't know if I want to do a cruise. I prefer just going to an all inclusive resort.
Yeah. I definitely wouldn't necessarily want no cruise where it's just like I need the relaxing one. So
Yeah, me too.
um
Mm-hmm.
but just kind of common sense things like I didn't even know that they even allowed you to smoke on a cruise.
Me neither. I thought that I didn't know you could do that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a smoking section.
No, I'm talking weed.
Oh, I don't know about weed. No, you're not supposed to have weed on a cruise.
But they just said they banned all marijuana. So apparently it
Yeah.
wasn't banned before. So they was
Probably from
smoking.
medical. Yeah, probably medical. You know, people be getting their license or whatever, and so they be like, "Well, I gotta take this marijuana with me because I got my medical card."
But that's
And
here in the
so, of
United
course,
States. That
uh,
don't apply to other countries.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
all
but you
law.
know, people gonna try it. You know, people gonna try, especially if they think, "Come on now, you telling people they ain't got their medical marijuana card, they think they can go anywhere with it now." Because
Well,
then they got
I'd be scared though because the one thing I fear is being arrested in a different country. You don't got the rights that
exactly.
you do over here.
But they ain't stop people though, because look at what they did to Brittany Griner and all the rest of them. Like I said, you know, it don't stop people from trying or whatever. And these people actually had money or whatever. I was talking about they had medical marijuana or they had this and that for a condition or whatever. So people gonna try. And so if the cruise lines don't put their foot down and don't distinguish what they not and what they are gonna go for, then of course it's gonna be an issue. So but yeah, but they gonna figure it out or whatever. Because I know they do have a smoking section, but yeah, I can imagine they probably will doing the marijuana or whatever for the people with medical marijuana, and they have those drink packages. So, but then you got to think about the bartenders. The bartenders, even though these people have drink packages and they come and they can drink all they want to, that don't mean make they shit strong as fuck.
Hmm.
That don't mean pour a half of a damn cup of vodka or half of a damn cup of tequila or whatever, and then a little bit of juice. No, that
Well,
means make they stuff legitimized or whatever, so they won't be that damn drunk.
if they have a drink package, they don't get cut off. They just unlimited drinks.
Yeah, they get unlimited drinks. Yeah,
Yeah,
they done paid for it.
because when we was gonna go on our cruise, well, I canceled our tickets because we just didn't want to go no more. We ain't got the drink package, and it's unlimited, and that's not just alcohol too. Drink package mean Coca Colas, soft drinks, waters, etc. You don't gotta pay for it because
But
all.
it's different drink packages. So you can get the one unlimited sodas or whatever. Because they'll give you so many sodas or so many drinks
I
or
know what I'm
whatever and
saying.
stuff
Like,
like that.
what I was saying
Yeah.
was, yeah, that's true. I'm saying like, yeah, because you got the unlimited drink package, that don't mean it's just alcohol. That's for everything.
Right. But these people, when they get that unlimited liquor or whatever package, they go for the gusto. You know when to stop. You know, once you pay for some, they always say a free drunk is the worst drunk, because now even though it's not free, you already paid for it, but you ain't got to come out of your pocket.
Hmm.
So all you gotta do is just go up there, show your stuff or whatever. Give me a vodka, give me a tequila, give me this, give me that or whatever. And you constantly drinking, well hell, you ain't gonna cut it off. So either if they don't want to cut it off like that, then cut out the drink package. Cut the liquor package out. Stop doing the unlimited. But I don't think they want to do that because
Mhm.
of the money or whatever. But in all actuality, they probably make more if they charge people by the drink, because somebody gonna pay for some drinks when you get on that boat or whatever. And if you ain't got the drink package, you gonna want to whatchamacallit, so somebody gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people go ahead on and get that drink package, because once you on that cruise ship, all them restaurants, well, what I found out, majority, maybe 90% of the restaurants on the boat are free. It's some restaurants on there that you still have to pay, but majority of those restaurants or whatever are free. So you go on there, all the food you can have or whatever and stuff like that. So then you have that drink package too. So then you getting all the drinks. But if you still go on there, you can eat all you want or whatever, and then you don't have the drink package, then now you having to pay for drinks, which drinks are expensive. So maybe if they keep it like that, maybe people have more common sense to start keeping their shit at a minimum.
When you say all the food is free, you mean like with your um, cruise package?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the package.
Yeah, once you pay to get on that boat or whatever, When you go to like dinner, or they even have these buffets and all of that. Like I said, they have maybe a couple of restaurants on there that you still have to pay, but majority of those restaurants and stuff like that, that's free. So once you on there, you can eat all you want.
Yeah, I was surprised by like how much stuff you can get as add-ons on a cruise, and I was booking my ticket.
Yeah,
It's really not that expensive.
yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, so that's why a lot of people, like I said, that's why a lot of people, especially older people, that's all they do is they cruise. They port, they go on a 30-day cruise, they'll port and they'll get on just to get on another one because some people say it's more cheaper to do that, to cruise for the rest of their life versus to even live in the economy that we living in. Because I mean, you on a cruise, all you doing is paying really rent and probably your Wi-Fi or whatever for extra data or whatnot or something like that. But the
Yeah.
food and everything like that, the accommodations or whatever, I mean, hell, look at it. Everything is taken care of. You get the port, you get to do what you want to do, you get to see different countries, you get to see different places, you get to meet new people on a regular, and you just get to be able to live instead of just being confined to one house or one apartment or one condo, and you paying this amount of money each month. So then you having to pay water, lights, gas, or whatever and stuff like that. Well, yeah, all you doing basically is paying your rent.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if a cruise if you can just get anybody can get a drink package and just drink to excess. You got a bunch of belligerent drunk
exactly.
folks.
Because when I was booking my
Don't
ticket,
necessarily
they
want to
didn't
be
ask
around
me
that.
about my history, see if I was alcoholic, nothing. They just asked you, "Do you want the drink package?" You just say yes or no.
Yeah, that's why a lot of these fights cross. That's why I was saying a lot of these fights breaking out. That's why I said if I was to go on a cruise, because I have one that I can go on, and it's the Princess. I don't hear too much about the Princess, not negativity or whatever and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to that. But with Carnival or whatever, like I said, Carnival is good. I wouldn't put them down because they got a lot of stuff to offer. But however, they seem to be on the news and on social media more often than a lot of rest of those cruise lines. From stuff happening to their ships to stuff happening where they crowd is getting a fight and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I said, like you said, I think Chris said that I'd rather just go on a resort and just chill on a resort.
Yeah. All inclusive resort, you post it. And so that's including free. And then on a resort, think about it. You don't hear too much about the resort. But however, think on a resort, on an all inclusive resort, you get once you pay for that, you get that room and boarding. And that comes with
Yeah.
drinks, unlimited food, and everything else. You don't hear people showing their ass on the on the all inclusive
Well, it's
resort.
different because on a resort, you're not in the middle of the ocean, so they can easily quickly arrest you.
Exactly. Right.
Don't they got jails on these cruises?
Yeah, but I don't think it's like. To me, I think they are more fearful. I know it sounds stupid, but I think these people who are actually doing the stupid stuff, they are more like fearful of being arrested while on land than they are on the water.
It shouldn't because if
What
there
they
was
do.
anybody that was corrupt, they just toss your ass over. You won't be found.
Oh my God. What they'll do is they'll arrest you and then have you go with them, and then the first port that they make, then the authorities will take you then. If they kicking you off or if you being arrested or whatever, like they done found people loading up the ships or whatever or being on a cruise that end up, and see that's another thing. People be thinking because you got a warrant, you can still get on the cruise. They not gonna check you. Wrong go. Because once they check
Everything is
you and they
about
run you, they find out you got a warrant. They come into your room and they gonna get you. And then there you go, you're gonna be locked up on the ship until they port. And then that's when the um other people gonna come get you, or you gonna have to stay in that room until they get back to the United States.
don't you throw that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you
That's
better have your house in order. I don't know what these people be thinking or whatever. No, the thing is they don't be thinking. They just be like, oh, yeah, we're going on a cruise. Okay. Let's go. And so that's why you just attract a lot of ratchet. But think about it. You don't hear too many ratchet people talking about, yeah, we're going to go on the princess. We're going to go on the, but they will say carnival. But like I said, that's what made carnival. The same thing that made them is the same thing that's making them, about bullshit.
Right. Okay.
But certain carnivals or whatever, I mean, it's pretty straight. They got some that poured out in Florida. They got
Why
one
you
that
throw
poured
that?
out in Galveston.
Why you
They
throw
got
that? I'm sorry,
uh-huh.
I'm talking to
Oh,
Kiara. She threw her toy.
they got one that poured out in California. So it all depends on what ship you get on too. They got one. Most of those ships that poured out of Galveston and Florida, do the research. Those be the ones that doing the most fighting. The ones that's pouring out of California, and it's even one pouring out of Alabama. You don't hear too many about. You don't hear too much about them. But the ones that's pouring out of Galveston and Florida, those be the ones that with the most ratchet, and it's sad.
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, look here. I gotta run an errand. I've been on for an hour and a half. I appreciate y'all for pulling up.
What?
Yeah, I have. Quick hour and a half. So I gotta put together something for the sports channel. So I'm gonna do that a little bit later. I might stream on that later on tonight. I typically do those at night anyways, late. So um, but I do have an errand to run. And I'm off today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So
Okay,
yeah.
well, it was nice talking to y'all. I just witnessed y'all was on Twitch or whatever, the little Twitchy. I was like, well, let me get on here and see what y'all talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should do this. We do this a lot.
I
You should join
appreciate
next
you.
time.
Appreciate you for
And
pulling up.
side note, Christopher, are you gonna send me some wings on your errand?
What?
Oh,
See
You gonna
some
send me
who?
some wings?
No. I see where your
You
battery is
see,
11%, Trina.
you see,
Is
yeah,
it?
that's why I said I know my phone gonna go dead.
That's crazy. It
that's
shows me that.
crazy. That is crazy.
Mhm.
What are you talking about? You
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 send me
you were
some
the
wings,
you were the culinary champion. Make your own wings.
but I want the wings that you buy
I'm not buying any wings. Who said I was buying wings? Why would you assume that I was buying wings?
because you like chicken.
I do.
Okay, then.
I'm not gonna buy any. I might buy some chicken to cook, but I'm not gonna go buy no wings.
Okay, bet you
Oh
send,
my
you
god.
cook some chicken. You find a way to send it to me, and we can go from there.
All right. Well, I tell you what. Just be waiting by the mailbox, and it'll be there.
Oh man.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna get
Oh
off this
man.
thing
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all. All right, stay up, y'all.
for
Stay up.
sure.
All right, bye. Y'all
Later.
be safe. Love
All
y'all.
right. Love you
Bye
too.
bye.
Bye.
Later. Okay, dokie. Let me switch back real quick. Where are you? I need a bigger screen. All right, I appreciate anybody and everybody that pulled up the both sides, YouTube and Twitch. There was no activity on the YouTube side. I get a little traction on YouTube on the playbacks, but doing the live, I think I need to. I gotta get my SEO right. I think it's some keywords and stuff I need to start using on the live side to get some traction on the YouTube side. There was a few viewers on the Twitch side that popped in outside of the family. But maybe this is just not a good time. And this was really to see if it would be a good streaming time. I don't know why I'm checking because I don't necessarily be free this time to live stream on a regular basis, anyways. Typically nighttime. So I'll probably just stick to that nighttime and then early mornings on the weekends, maybe. But I appreciate anybody who ducked in on the Twitch side just to say, I'm here and then I'm gone. And then anybody that's gonna watch this rerun or restream on the YouTube side, I appreciate you in advance. Nothing else to discuss. We talked a little bit about everything. AI. We talked about the Carnival Cruise Line, and is there anything else that I wanted to get into? If it is, I know how to hit the stream button again. So to the next one. Peace.